Hi guys, it's Lori. Ended up having a little bit of time today after all, so I thought I'd pop in since today's my LIW. Okay, so VLCD 26. Today's my LIW. I do have some notes so I don't mess up any of my numbers. And I'm at 138.8 today. I can deal with that. And I was actually up 0.6 today, but that's okay. I didn't do anything wrong, so it's no big deal, especially because yesterday I was actually down 1.2. So, total is 14 pounds gone. My average is 0.56 a day. And if you don't include my load weight, it's 12 pounds down and what I say, 0.4, I don't think I wrote that. Oh, yes, I did write that down. 0.48 a day. So pretty good. I'm right about at that half pound a day mark, just like I always am. So pretty happy. I do believe I have poison ivy. I think that's what this rash is, in case anybody was wondering. I'm still covered in, I don't even know if you can see it, calamine, and it's still itching like mad, and it has spread a little bit more. A little spot down here on the other side part of my arm. I want to talk about my Fitbit. I was just going to tell you a little something. Well, I don't know if you can even tell that it gave me a tan line. Can you see that? I don't know how good this video quality is, but I have a tan line for my Fitbit. And I want to tell you that I had to tighten it up a notch. So that's pretty cool, right? Yeah, the other night, it actually, I get Gmail notifications when my battery's low on it. And I got the notification, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not really doing anything anyways. I just took it off and plugged it into my laptop and let it charge on there for a while. Then later on, I took it off, put it back on, I don't know, a couple hours or so later, before I went to bed. And got into bed, and I got my phone out, and I went to my Fitbit app. I was going to just check it for the day, see what I did. And it kept syncing for a few minutes, not a few minutes, but like a few seconds, and then it just stopped, and the battery, little battery thing on there had a red X through it, and it said, I tapped on it, it said my battery was dead. So I pushed the button on the side here, and sure enough, it didn't even turn on. So I thought, oh, I must not have it plugged in all the way, whatever. So I didn't think much about it. I just went to sleep. And next morning, got up and plugged it in, let it charge. Forgot to put it back on, so it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon before I ever put it on that day. But I wasn't in a challenge or anything, so it was all good. But my whole point is that I left it on all night, even though it was dead. I just left it on, and I mean on me, and it logged my sleep, even though the battery was dead. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know it would do that, but it did. So I was kind of surprised, but just in case anybody wanted to know that little tidbit of information. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you too. I've been asked this question before in the past, how do you dispose of the needles? And I don't do it properly, I'm sure. I'm sure you're supposed to get like a sharps container and do something special with them, but I put a coffee can, an empty coffee can, I just cut a hole in the lid of it, and I stick it on top of my refrigerator, and I drop them in there. Or I have used a coffee creamer container, stick it on top of the fridge and just put them in there. And I've also used a Kleenex box before, an empty Kleenex box, pop them in that thing. And after I'm done with it, I just like tie it up in a plastic bag and throw it away with my garbage. So I'm sure that's not proper, but that's what I do. And this time I have my almond milk container. I just rinsed it out good, and yeah, they're in there. They fit just perfectly in the hole. So yeah, those are going to get tossed. So a lot of people like to know what we eat every day on P2, and I never really mention that. I never talk about what I eat or what I ate that day or the day before or whatever. So the rest of this video is all going to be about what I have eaten on this round. And so if you're not really interested in that, I know some people probably find that boring. It's not real exciting, P2 foods, but it can be if you make it that way. But anyway, that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. So if you're not interested, that's fine, and I'll see you next video. But if you are, then stick around a couple minutes and I'll talk about my food. Okay, so I I kind of wrote this stuff down too so I wouldn't forget. Kind of tell you in a roundabout way what I've been eating this whole round. My fruits are always either apples or strawberries. I did eat blueberries a couple times this round, but they didn't have a lot of flavor, so I didn't really eat those more than once, maybe twice. I do eat my Melbas. I always eat my Melbas. I'm super sick and tired of plain chicken and fish, so I just about can't eat that. But I have had chicken a couple times. I'm making a video. Do you need something? Okay. I've had chicken a couple times cooked on the grill, like a few times actually. And I've had cod a couple times too. And I cooked that in a skillet with Tony Chachere's seasoning, and I have that sitting here. Whoa, I spilled my coffee. This is the Tony Chachere's. Natalie, I know, had asked me about it, and this is what it is. It's really good. It's a bit spicy, so go easy on it at first because it's salty too. So it has 350 milligrams of sodium per quarter teaspoon. So go easy on it. Don't add salt to whatever you put this in until after you taste it. When I eat my cod, I always put a little bit of sugar-free relish on top. It doesn't, for me anyway, it doesn't take much of that. So I always put a little sugar-free relish on the top, and that's my condiment for my cod. I don't normally eat beef on P2, but this round, that has actually been my protein for most of my meals. I do eggs. Sometimes I've done that a couple times this round. When I do eggs, I do 2 whole eggs and 2 egg whites. You're supposed to do 1 whole egg and 3 egg whites, but it gives it better flavor. And if I do 2 whole eggs, and it works for me, so that's what I do. And I always put either Tabasco sauce on them or Tony Chachere's. I always do my eggs scrambled, so sometimes boiled, but I didn't this round. I prefer it to be scrambled hot, you know. So anyway, for the beef, I do the extra lean ground beef, and I make those into patties, or I just brown it up in a skillet. Who's coming back? Hayden? Oh. For my patties, I chop up onions and do spices and stuff right in with the meat, and I mix it all together and make my patties that way. Then with the, if I just brown it in a skillet and use it to add to something, I just put in chopped onions and a bunch of seasonings. I usually put in taco seasoning, which is my homemade taco seasoning, and I just put in a lot of chili powder. Just gives it some extra flavor. And I use the ground beef in either a cabbage stir fry that I make in a skillet just sauteed up, or this time I put it in celery soup a couple times, and it was actually really good that way. I usually do chicken with that, but like I said, I'm kind of sick of chicken. So steak, I've had steak. I found these, they're petite sirloins, and I found that if I cut them in half, they're perfect portions. So I've had that a few times, and I cooked that on the grill, and that's pretty good too. My favorite this time was the London broil that I made in the crock pot. That was really good with that. I think it's called, what is it? Chicago, I can't see it from here. Chicago steak seasoning or whatever. It was really good. And I always cut up chunks of onion and lay on top of my roast, and that it cooks in it, but I don't eat the onions now. I don't like them all nasty and gross like that. They're all soggy and floppy. But anyway, it gives a good flavor. So yeah, the vegetables I eat: sauteed cabbage, steamed broccoli, steamed green beans. Broccoli and green beans aren't actually on Dr. Simeon's list. They work for me. Celery, I'll eat celery if I put it in a soup. And first few days of the round, I had green salads with the Bolthouse Farms dressing, ranch dressing, or the Walden Farms Thousand Island. But I got really sick of salads like that, so yeah, because I eat salads all the time, but I don't eat them plain like that. So I get sick of it really quick on P2. And chopped cucumbers, or cucumbers, however you want to eat them. I got sick to death of those too, so I can't even eat that right now. The Bolthouse Farms. I'll show you. This is the Bolthouse Farms Ranch. It's low. It's got 3 grams carbs per 2 tablespoons. I do not use 2 tablespoons. 3 grams of fat, 45 calories. So, yeah. Anyway, the Walden Farms. Thousand Island. It has nothing in it. It almost has a little bit of flavor, but that's about it. This is what I use to cook my fish and whatever else if I need a little oil in the pan. I'm making a video, buddy. Stay back. Stay back. Thank you. This is what I use. It's just coconut oil spray, and it's 100% coconut oil. Of course, it's got whatever makes it spray and all that stuff in it. So, you know, up to you. You can just use regular coconut oil, put a little bit in the bottom of the pan. But I find that's pretty convenient to use that. So, extras. Okay, I do eat a couple extras. I eat chocolate delight. I told you guys that before. And this time around, I never gave up my heavy cream in my coffee. I was taking a chance. I decided to take a chance and see. And it probably affected me somewhat, but it didn't seem to make a huge difference. So I used it. And keep in mind that that is definitely not something I recommend. Not at all. So, but I took a chance and did it. So would my results have been better if I hadn't? Probably. So keep that in mind too. Is it worth it or not? So yeah, I guess that's about it. Now I have got to go because I have a job to do this afternoon, and I am on my way to do that. First, I'm going to make myself a big iced coffee to take with me. And I'm taking Hayden too, so yeah. I'm going to go grocery shopping too and get my P3 foods. And I will keep you updated on what I'm eating on P3. That's it for now. See ya.